Hi, Lisa from the future here. I sort of mentioned it in this video that I've been going through a bit of a difficult time lately, and I've been having trouble just sitting down and filming a YouTube video, and this one felt a little bit weird. It was put together like a bit haphazardly, and I want to apologize for that, and I hope that my next video will be a bit more coherent. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Oh, I love this color. It matches my hair. Hello and welcome to Pink Paradox Reads. I'm Lisa, aka Pink Paradox, and in this video I'll be talking about books that I've recently read. Well, I say recently, this was supposed to be a what I read in August video, and now we're at the end of September, so I guess it's a what I've read in the past couple of months video. As a reminder, or if you are new to my channel, I read mainly horror, thrillers, and mysteries, and some nonfiction, so those are the genres that I typically feature on this channel. I'm in a different filming location right now. I'm kind of playing around with different filming locations, so the light and sound may not be all that great right now, but I hope you'll sit through it. The first book I want to talk about is actually one of my childhood favorites, so this is a reread of sorts for me. Although this is actually the first time I read this book in its original English. This is Vampire Master by Virginia Ironside, and I absolutely loved this book when I was a kid. I would read it over and over again. This is about Tom, who is getting ready to go back for another semester at Burlap Hall, which is a prestigious but kind of rundown private school in England. And he's not really looking forward to it, but he is looking forward to seeing his friends Susan and Miles. And little do they know that they have a new biology teacher this semester, a biology teacher by the name of Professor A. Collard. And he's really strange, and turns out that Professor A. Collard is in fact Count Dracula, and he is hellbent on taking over the world, starting with Burlap Hall. I will be talking about this book a bit more in an upcoming Horror Life tag video, so look out for that. Next, I listened to He Started It by Samantha Downing, and this is Samantha Downing's second novel, I think. She had one that was really well received called My Lovely Wife. I have not read that one, but based on the popularity of that novel, I really was interested in checking out her second novel, and I can't really see or hear that title without imagining it as He Started It. So this is a thriller about 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, who are all set to inherit their grandfather's fortune. But before they can do so, they have to recreate a sort of a road trip that they took with their grandfather when they were kids. They have to go back to all the different locations they went to, all the sites that they went to, and only when they have completed this road trip, they get their money. So they go out set with their partners, and it doesn't take very long before strange things start to occur, and they are certain that they're being followed on their trip, and yeah, weird shit just starts to happen. I quite enjoyed this book for the first half. I thought it was quite entertaining, and then weirder and weirder stuff just started to occur, and the characters started to act in ways that were just, what the hell is going on? And it all concluded in an ending that just left me baffled, and not in a good way, so I didn't really enjoy this one. I ended up giving it 2 stars. Next was Nothing Important Happened Today by Will Carver, and this was the first book that I received in the Abominable Book Club. This is Will Carver's second novel, I believe. He had one before this, and I've seen a lot of people compare that one to Fight Club. That said, when I read this one, it really reminded me of the movie Seven. It was just incredibly dark and it felt very hopeless. The story of the book is about there is a bunch of mass suicides taking place in Great Britain, and it turns out that all the people who partake in these suicides have received a letter prior saying nothing important happened today. And it's about an investigator who looks into the case. He was in the first book, I believe, as well, and he is also in a third book that I received from the Abominable Book Club. Like I said, this book was incredibly dark and hopeless, and yes, it really reminded me of the movie Seven. I remember when I saw Seven in theaters and I was walking out of the theater and The Heart's Filthy Lesson by David Bowie was playing. I felt like I was emotionally disemboweled in a way. It was just like a real punch to the gut, and this is exactly what this book felt like as well. I can't really say that I enjoyed it. I appreciated it, but I don't think I enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. So after 2 books that were a little bit disappointing in my humble opinion, it was really great to read or listen to on audio His and Hers by Alice Feeney. And I have read Alice Feeney's previous books and I quite enjoyed them, even though I didn't think they were quite as awesome as some people make them out to be. I really enjoyed His and Hers. And like the title suggests, this has 2 narrators, a female and a male. And he is a police detective and she is a news presenter. When a horrible murder occurs, they meet and he is reluctant to take this case and she is reluctant to cover the murder for the BBC television show she's on, because it turns out that both of them know this person. This was a super intriguing story. It's very twisty and turny, but not like ridiculously so. And I just really, really enjoyed it. 4 stars for me. On Kindle, I read Problem Child by Victoria Helen Stone, and this is the second book about Jane Doe. The first one was just called Jane Doe, and this book just frustrated me a little bit. Jane is a sociopath. We know this because she keeps reminding us. In the first book, she was on a mission, and it was really exciting to see where she was going with this mission. In this book, she has more or less settled in her job. She has a boyfriend and a cat, and she just seems a little bit bored. So she decides to go looking for her niece who is missing. She wouldn't really mind because, well, she's a sociopath and she doesn't really care about people. But she looks at a picture of this niece of hers and she decides that it looks like she is the same kind of person as Jane. Like she has a feeling that she might be a sociopath like Jane. So she decides to go and look for her niece, and along this way, she meets a lot of people who she's really horrible to. She eats a lot of amazing food that we get to hear all about, and it's all just very lackluster and boring, and I couldn't with this book. I ended up giving it 1 star. Much better, in my opinion, is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and this is a follow-up to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I previously read. This is a YA mystery, and we meet Pip again. She solved a case in the first book, and now she has decided she is done with detective work. She is instead working on a podcast about the case from the first book. But when a friend visits her and tells her that his brother is missing, she decides that she can't just stand by and let the police, who doesn't seem to care much, take over. So she agrees to go looking for this missing person. I normally don't read a lot of YA, but I really like these books because I feel like the emphasis here is on the mystery and not on like a bunch of romance that I feel like a lot of YA books tend to concentrate on. So I really enjoyed this one. It was a compelling read, not like super exciting, but a good read. I gave it 3 stars. And finally, also on Kindle, I read Cut Short by M.W. Craven. I've talked about my love of the Washington Post series by M.W. Craven before on this channel. And this was a little collection of 3 short stories about Washington Poe and his partner Tilly. And this collection landed on my Kindle at just the right time. I was going through a really hard time, and this collection just really cheered me up. It is a very, I guess you can say, current collection. In my favorite of the stories, Washington gets diagnosed with a certain virus and he has to self-isolate along with Tilly. But even so, they manage to crack a seemingly unsolvable case because they are awesome and I love them so much, and I can't wait for more books about Washington Poe and Tilly Bradshaw. Please, M.W. Craven, write the next one soon, okay? So those were all the books that I wanted to talk about today. Have you read any of them? Then I would love to hear your opinion of them in the comments. And if you enjoy bookish videos like this one, unboxings and horror movie hauls, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.